Hello everyone. Today we have Anindita Mitra with us and she is working in Qualcomm as an engineer, and prior to joining Qualcomm she has done her masters from NIT Karnataka in the field of electronics and communications engineering, and after finishing her masters she joined Parallel Wireless as an intern, and right after finishing her internship she joined Qualcomm as an engineer. So we will get to know more about her journey of getting placed into Qualcomm. Thank you so much, Anindita. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Shudhakar, for bringing me here. I'm really glad to share my experience. I hope that my experience will help some people out there.
So, can you please tell us a bit about the role, the profile for which you have been selected at Qualcomm?
Yeah, certainly. So, my role is basically audio validation profile. So, it is what I understood from the job description back then. And after talking to my one of my recruiter, that it's basically a validation or testing role which is solely based on testing audio testing of the Bluetooth devices, various Bluetooth devices. And technically, if I will go deeper, then it's basically a signal processing or digital signal processing related role, which has a good amount of coding related to it, like mostly Python coding. So it's a basically blend of both the things, digital signal processing
Okay.
and Python programming.
Means it's both
Like,
like coding intensive as well as your core engineering
yeah,
knowledge. Yeah.
like it won't require that much of coding like a developer, but
Okay.
it will need a decent amount of coding knowledge or Python script knowledge. It will require.
Okay. Got it. So you mainly deal with Python scripting and digital signal processing concepts. Okay.
Uh,
So now we can talk a bit about the placement process, the recruitment process
mm,
which Qualcomm would have done in your case. So
mm.
like what happened first, like resume shortlisting or test, what happened first in your case after applying?
So, so it was a off-campus interview, like off-campus opportunity. So I gave my resume and it got shortlisted. Then I got a call from the recruiter and for scheduling the interview. Like
Yeah.
they briefly asked me about my profiles, what I have done and all.
Okay.
After shortlisting my resume also,
Resume.
over
Yes.
the call
Yes.
we have a brief discussion. Then we have
Okay.
schedule our interviews. So basically, for the first day, I didn't know that total how many rounds it will
Okay.
consist. That
Okay.
I didn't know at the very beginning.
Okay.
Maybe
Means there was
it
no test. Means there was no written test.
no
Okay.
written test. It was
Okay.
directly resume shortlisting, then followed by interviews. But
Okay. Okay.
how many interviews or how many rounds it will have, that I didn't know that time.
Okay.
So
Okay.
maybe it was based on one by one interview they took, and maybe they
Right.
if
Right.
they need it, then they schedule another one. Like
Right.
that, it
Right.
happened.
Right.
So the first round, it was total 3 rounds of interview.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
in 2 days, I think. Yeah, consecutive
Oh,
two
in
days.
2 days you had three interviews. Okay.
Total 3 interviews. It was 3 of them were technical only. Like
Okay. All of them were technical rounds.
huh. So I'm
Okay.
excluding the HR part. So
Okay.
apart from the HR part, it was three dedicated technical rounds.
Okay.
So the first round was based on signal processing. Mostly they asked me signal processing related questions, signal systems basics, just like Nyquist criteria,
Right.
Nyquist
Right.
theorem, then sampling theorem, then
Yeah.
all those aliasing effects,
Yes.
all those concepts they asked very deeply.
Yeah.
And their favorite part was filter thing. So they
Okay.
asked lots of questions related to filter, IIF filter, FIR filter,
Okay.
digital filter, analog filter. What are the difference between them? In
Oh.
which particular time we need each one of them? Like
Okay.
what are
Okay.
their purposes and why they are different from each other. Then even they ask a little bit about the designing of filter, how we are designing a filter.
Okay.
Not much depth, not much deeply, because I told them that my specialization is solely on communication. So
Right.
maybe in like deeper into the filter design,
Right.
maybe I won't be able to answer
Okay.
that properly.
Okay.
So filter design also, they will expect a little bit of knowledge that how you are
Okay.
designing the filter.
Yeah.
And they asked some specific filter names and asked about them,
Okay.
like about them also, like Kalman filter, then
Right.
notch filter. These are
Yeah.
many different specialized filters, so they
Right.
asked about them also.
Yeah.
These are mostly the signal processing related part. So it
Yeah.
took around 1.5 hours
Okay.
for all of this. Then they switched to uh, the same person. They switched to uh, coding part. They
Okay.
asked me few
Means in
coding
the same round
questions.
itself. In the same round
Huh,
itself. Okay.
So some coding questions were there, and coding questions mostly they asked me from string and arrays.
Okay. Yeah.
These two areas only. So they
Yeah.
asked me that in which language I'm comfortable in. So I told them that back then I was just a beginner in Python, but
Okay.
I knew C.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's why I mentioned about C, and they told me that's fine. Whichever language you're comfortable in, they only want to check your
Yeah.
problem solving ability and logic
Aptitude. Yeah.
building ability. Huh?
Right.
That's
Right.
all. If you are able to describe them the algorithm, that is all. You
Yeah.
don't need to write them properly or with a proper uh, you
Syntax
know
and all. Yeah.
syntax and all. They are not looking at it.
Right. Right.
They, because this is not a developer job that you have to do very rigorous coding and all.
Right.
That's not needed
Right.
here. Only
Yes.
some sense to understand what is the command, that is fine.
Right.
So they asked mostly from string and arrays.
Yeah.
Apart from that, they are like, even like they were very lenient. Like if I am stuck
Okay.
in any uh,
Right.
point, also they are helping me.
Yes.
And apart from that, they asked me some some puzzles which are available in Gigs for Gigs.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
Some puzzles were there. They were a little bit tricky, but
Hmm.
it was manageable. Like they were even giving me hints also, so it was manageable.
Okay. Okay.
But they were a bit tricky. If you are not like, if you are completely out of practice, then maybe suddenly it will hit you a little bit.
Okay. Okay.
So that is pretty much about the first round. It was around 2 hours maybe, and then the second round started just after
Okay.
completion of the
Right.
first one.
So in the first round, like as you mentioned, that they first started with like signal processing, signals and
Signal
system,
processing.
followed by like programming concepts, not
Mm.
mainly about like writing the code, but it's mainly about the aptitude, how you look, how you solve any given problem. Okay. And
They asked me to write it. Like they asked
okay.
me to write it in one
Okay.
code platform. But if you are unable to write it in proper syntax, but you are
Oh,
able to explain it, then
explain.
it's fine.
Oh, okay.
It's not
Okay.
like they are just asking verbally. They asked me to
Oh,
write it on that
okay.
platform and run it and
Okay.
give the
Okay.
output. But if you are not being able to do that, still they were
Explain.
okay with the logic thing only.
Right, right. Okay, means it was an online interview. It was online,
Mm.
and they gave you the some platform where we can compile and
Yeah,
run the
yeah,
code.
yeah.
Okay, okay. But they're mainly looking for the logic. Even if you're not able to write the full code, if you can
Yeah.
explain the logic to them, it's okay. Like I can see that you have done your bachelor's in ECE, मास्टर्स भी आपका उसी एरिया में था. तो आई बिलीव कि ये फिल्टर सिग्नल्स एंड सिस्टम्स आपने बैचलर्स में भी पढ़ा होगा और मास्टर्स में भी आपने पढ़ा होगा. बट कोडिंग
मास्टर्स में
वगैरह
उतना
या
नहीं पढ़ा हूँ,
उतना
बीटेक
नहीं
में
पढ़ा.
पढ़ा हूँ.
बीटेक में पढ़ा, तो फिर इसकी तैयारी आपने कैसे की? लाइक हाउ डिड यू प्रिपेयर और किस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम पे इन सब चीजों को आपने पढ़ा? लाइक ये फिल्टर्स वगैरह का नॉलेज या सिग्नल्स एंड सिस्टम्स का नॉलेज, तैयारी कैसे
सिग्नल
आपने की?
सिग्नल
या
ऑफ सिस्टम्स का नॉलेज बीटेक में था. उसके
ओके.
बाद जब एमटेक का प्रिपरेशन कर रही थी, गेट का एमटेक
गेट
का, तो
या
उस टाइम पे वो हुआ था. तो
ओके.
आई हैव दोस नोट्स. सो
ओके.
जब मोस्टली मेरा जो एमटेक का प्रिपरेशन था, मतलब एमटेक का प्लेसमेंट का जो प्रिपरेशन था, so
या
that time I was very specific कि I want to go in the communication domain only.
Oh,
So
okay.
my preparation was solely based on communication related things.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it involves with wireless communication, digital communication, then MIMO and different advanced
Yes.
communication techniques also. So I mostly revolve around those things only.
Okay. Okay.
Signal and system was not my like like first thing to prepare
Yes.
like that. But
Right. Right.
when this profile came,
Yeah.
and as Qualcomm was my dream company, so I
Yeah.
started to prepare after
Okay. Okay.
getting shortlisted.
Right.
So
Right.
what I followed mainly that I followed one or two YouTube videos which I used to watch during my gate times or
Great. Okay.
preparation time.
Yeah.
So those gate videos I watched uh, few, not
Right.
fully. I couldn't cover the whole playlist that time, and I
Yeah.
have few notes here and there, which I used to like, which I used during my preparation for MTech entrance.
Okay.
So those helped me for
Okay.
signal system concepts. So any you can follow NPTEL videos also, but those are for short time of preparation. It's not
Yes.
recommended, I think,
Right.
because it's
Right.
very long, very deep.
Correct.
It will deep
Correct.
dive.
Right.
Like while preparing for the entrance of MTech, that time I like
Refer to
followed those
NPTEL.
NPTELs.
Yeah.
But
Right.
during this interview preparation, I didn't do that because I didn't have much time. So
Yes.
whatever I have in my notes, which are existing already, I just
Yeah.
followed them. So
Or
any gate
yeah.
platform, any gate video or any note you are having, that
Yeah.
will be sufficient maybe. Or if any BTech student is watching this, then I would say that any signal system or DSP related notes you are having from your college, that will be sufficient because they were not going much deeper. It's not a R&D job, so
Right.
they are
Right.
not going that much deep
Yeah.
into the concepts. If you
Right.
are able to explain them the basics, uh, it it's more than enough.
कोडिंग के लिए लाइक पाइथन कोडिंग ये आपने कब मतलब लाइक इसके लिए आपने क्या तैयारी की लाइक टू लर्न प्रोग्रामिंग एंड ऑल हाउ डिड यू प्रिपेयर फॉर इट
So for Python, that time, in that short period of time, I couldn't able to learn Python fully because I
ओके
was just started one course just 1 week back maybe. So I was
ओके
completely beginner in the Python thing.
ओके
So what I told, I just like honestly explained them that I am comfortable in C to write codes,
ओके
but
या
I am not comfortable in Python. I'm just learning it. So they
या
were happy with it because they just want you to have a problem solving attitude in your mind,
यस यस
being able to understand the programming logics because language is different, but logics should be there. That
यस
ability
राइट
should
राइट
be there to
राइट राइट
understand and to decode it.
राइट राइट
So they were okay with C, and every code I have written there, or every program they asked me to write it, they are open that in any language you are comfortable, just write in that language.
राइट
We are
राइट
not
ओके
stopping you to do that. So
या
I only used my C knowledge there. I
यस
didn't use a single knowledge about Python.
ओके
What I told them, what I assured them, that I will learn Python eventually because
राइट 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 या
if you know C, then it's much better.
यस
It's
यस
easier to understand Python also. So
या आई
you
थिंक
can,
इफ यू लर्न एनी या प्लीज या
like in parallelly also you can do, right, while
राइट
working
राइट
also.
यस so that was about the first round ये first round like of course it was very
Hmm.
like 2 घंटे का था बहुत सारी चीजें उन लोगों ने
हाँ हाँ
कवर की तो definitely like ये बहुत exhaustive round था I would say तो इसके बाद फिर then you got call for next round of interview right okay
Simultaneously it happened. Just 5 minutes of break and second round started.
oh my god okay just 5 minutes of break
Yeah.
okay that is another thing to
And
manage I would say because like two
yeah,
hours then फिर again एक technical session में जाना is again like draining experience at least yeah yeah so we can talk about your second round of interview
second round was
yeah
taken by someone who is much higher designation maybe.
yeah
So what he asked, he didn't like he didn't go much deeper into my signal system or basic technical knowledge. What he
Okay.
asked mainly, that is how much I am comfortable in my language, like C or Python,
Okay.
whatever I am having, how I
Yeah.
am comfortable in. So he just checked with one code. I
Okay.
didn't remember exactly which code he gave me, but
Yeah.
it was a moderate level of code. Like it was
Okay.
not that basic or
Yeah.
not that advanced.
That
It was
difficult. Yes.
somewhat in between.
In
So
between.
he
Yeah.
just gave me to just check my understanding about that language. Just
Yeah.
one technical question, that is it. Apart from that, he mainly asked me what I have done in my internship.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
so, what was my role? What was my project? What was I supposed to do there?
Yeah.
And what was my role? How I was involved in the team and all.
Yeah.
What was my responsibility? What exactly uh, if like effects I have made there. So he was
Okay.
very particular to know about all those things.
Okay. Okay.
And apart from this internship thing, whatever trainings and uh, like anything I have done, I have written in my CV. He asks each and
Oh.
everything. Like
Okay.
even
Okay.
I have done like some vocational trainings also in different places from different places. So whatever
Yeah.
certificates that I have mentioned there, whatever trainings I have mentioned there, he was very keen to understand what exactly I have done there. It
Oh.
it won't work that you have just mentioned it and you don't know anything about it. It
Okay.
won't work because he was very particular about each thing. Like even in trainings also, that what you have done, how you have done, what tools you have used, what you guys were doing there, what
Right.
is expected from you from that training, like that.
Yeah.
Their questions were, his questions were something like that. And the major time he have taken for my major project in MTech, like the major
Okay.
project in my
Yes.
MTech
Yes. The master's project. Yeah. The thesis
master's
one.
project. Yeah.
Right.
So I have made the two projects in my masters during
Okay.
the 2 years of journey. So
Yeah.
he was mainly interested in the final year project, which is the bigger
Okay.
one.
Right. Right.
And like, do I have any publications or not? Which
Okay.
kind of publications I'm trying, or is it published yet or not? Like this many questions he will ask. And he asked like which tools I have used in my project, in which domain. Maybe he is not aware of the domain, but he will keep on asking like questions.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So it was not that much technical. It was mostly based on my experiences, whatever I have.
जो भी आपने रिज्यूमे में मेंशन किया है वो दे वांटेड टू नो
Sub
कि आपका एग्जैक्ट इसमें कंट्रीब्यूशन क्या था,
exactly.
लर्निंग्स क्या थी एंड
हाँ.
ऑल. राइट. राइट.
And
राइट.
he was very interested to know about the tools I have used in various projects I have done.
प्रोजेक्ट्स. राइट.
Mm.
राइट. या दैट्स व्हाई हम लोग ऐसा लाइक पीपल से कि रिज्यूमे में जो भी चीजें आपने लिखी हैं उसका आपको मतलब पता होना चाहिए.
पता
यू शुड
होना
बी
चाहिए.
थॉरो विथ व्हाटएवर यू राइट. हम लोग बोलते भी थे कि कॉमा भी डाला है उसका मतलब पता होना चाहिए कॉमा क्यों यहाँ पे
हाँ,
ऐड किया है.
एग्जैक्टली. लाइक मेरा जो IIT खड़गपुर का एक आई वाज देयर इन अ रिसर्च प्रोजेक्ट. I
ओके.
worked for a few months. So
ओके.
even he asked me from there also that
ओके.
whatever I have done and all.
या दैट शोज कि दे वर वेरी कीन टू नो अबाउट कि जिनको हम हायर करने जा रहे हैं उनके सारे पास्ट एक्सपीरियंस के बारे में, टूल्स, स्किल्स,
Mm.
जो भी चीजें आती हैं, वेदर दोज मैच विथ द रिक्वायरमेंट्स, जो भी उनकी जॉब की
Requirements.
रिक्वायरमेंट्स है उसमें कितना गैप है, वो उनको जानने में
Mm.
इंटरेस्ट था. एंड प्लस दैट
Mm.
ऑल्सो शोज कि हाउ गुड यू आर कम्युनिकेटिंग थिंग्स, बिकॉज लिखना
Mm.
इज अ डिफरेंट थिंग, बट वंस वी आर आस्क्ड टू डिस्क्राइब सर्टेन प्रोजेक्ट कि इसको डिस्क्राइब
Mm.
करो, मे बी इन अ वेरी
Mm.
टेक्निकल में नहीं, नॉर्मल में एक्सप्लेन करो कि क्या आउटपुट था, क्या इनपुट था एंड सो ऑन, तो वो आप कर पाते हो कि नहीं, वो भी उनको जानना
Yeah.
होता है. या
Yeah.
एंड आई बिलीव दैट तो ये राउंड भी कुछ 1 आवर चला होगा मुझे लगता है रिज्यूमे आपका. राइट. 1 आवर चला
Mm.
ही होगा. तो ऐसा कहीं कुछ कुछ ट्रिकी आपको इस राउंड में लगा अपार्ट फ्रॉम कोडिंग वगैरह, या ऐसा कुछ आपको लगा कुछ ट्रिकी पार्ट इस वाले राउंड में?
ये कुछ होता है कि कुछ कुछ ट्रेनिंग्स के बारे में हम लोग भूल चुके होते हैं क्योंकि वो
करेक्ट.
बीटेक
करेक्ट.
में किया है.
यस.
सो
यस.
आई एम लाइक आई हैव माय pass out year is 2018, so it's way back.
Okay.
So
Correct.
some trainings I have mentioned in my resume, which I held in 2016 or 17. So it's
Oh,
way
right.
back. So
Yes, yes.
sometimes I am unable to recall what was my
Each
role,
one.
or
Right.
what exactly, like, I couldn't be able to define some those
Right,
small
right. The
details
fine
sometimes.
details. Yeah, yeah,
Mm. So
yeah.
overview I can give, but
Yes.
those fine details are a bit
Right, right.
problematic to give.
हाँ, like it's more the like जो 5-6 साल साथ इतनी पुरानी बातें हों तो भी like we end up forgetting the important details
हाँ.
and all. Right, right. Okay.
Like MTech final year project, I could answer
Yes.
easily because that
Right.
is my bread and butter that time. So I
Right,
was
right.
very comfortable there.
या इंटर्नशिप आपका फ्रेश रहा होगा, मास्टर्स की चीजें सब
हाँ.
फ्रेश रही होंगी, बट हाँ
Yes.
बैचलर्स का और उसके पीछे का इट लाइक्स। सो ये सेकंड राउंड था, और इसके बाद फिर थर्ड राउंड का, इसमें कितना गैप
Next
मिला
day.
आपको? अच्छा, इसमें गैप
एक
मिला
दिन का.
आपको। ओके, एक दिन इसमें
Next
गैप
दिन
मिला।
हुआ.
नेक्स्ट डे।
They even asked me that today are you comfortable to give or is it too
ओके।
late?
ओ। सो इट वाज हैपनिंग इन सम इवनिंग, लेट इवनिंग और समथिंग लाइक दैट?
Yeah, it finished around 9:45 or 10 maybe.
ओह, ओके। या डेफिनेटली बहुत आपको मैं समझ सकता हूँ ये प्रेशर, बट या देन नेक्स्ट डे आपका थर्ड राउंड ऑफ इंटरव्यू था व्हाट, तो उसमें क्या हुआ, उनका क्या फोकस था?
उसमें वो पहले 10-15 मिनट तक he asked me about the signal system basics again.
ओके।
Kind of similar questions from the questions I had in the
फर्स्ट।
first
यस।
round. So that was just for the introduction part, I think, maybe for
ओके।
having that basic
द
information. Do
आइस
you know
ब्रेकर
this
टाइप,
or
आइस
not?
ब्रेकर राउंड की, ठीक है, कंफर्टेबल हो जाओ पहले। या।
So 10 to 15 minutes was only regarding this thing. Then
या।
he started to ask me coding questions. So it was a long period of time. This coding
ओके।
question
या।
happened around, I think 40 minutes, maybe 30
ओ,
to 40
ओके।
minutes.
ओके।
Uh,
ओके।
I think 3 to 4 questions they gave me
ओके।
uh, related to coding. Similar like string arrays, those are the only regions they were focusing
ओके।
on.
ओके। ओके।
Uh, and apart from that, after completing this thing, now they came to my profile, that is
ओके।
audio profile,
ओके।
Bluetooth audio
ओके।
profile. So they asked me some basics about Bluetooth.
या।
So I didn't know that much about Bluetooth, but only few things I Googled just before the interview.
ओके।
So
ओके।
I
या।
just told whatever I could understand from the net. So some basics. They are not expecting you to know each and every terminology it's present inside Bluetooth. They know that
या।
you won't be able to answer that. But at least some basic, how Bluetooth is working, how the
यस।
Bluetooth audio is working. His round was mainly focused on that programming part and this how much I know about this devices, Bluetooth audio devices like speaker,
ओके।
Bluetooth speaker,
ओके।
and
ओके। यस। या।
Bluetooth earphone, Bluetooth
या।
headphone. So
या।
how these things are working, what are the features they are having, what is the range of the Bluetooth, what is the frequency on which it is operating, uh, how much bandwidth it is supporting. These much questions they have asked
ओके।
me in
ओके।
that particular round.
ओह।
This kind of like
या। राइट, राइट।
maybe it's solely based on the, like, he wants to make me more curious about that
यस।
product.
राइट, राइट। और चूंकि ये लाइक जॉब का पार्ट है, लाइक उनको था पता
हाँ,
कि दैट यू विल गेट टू वर्क ऑन दीज थिंग्स, तो इसमें इंटरेस्ट आपका, इंक्लिनेशन आपका होना भी चाहिए, और अगर
हाँ,
कुछ नॉलेज अगर ऑलरेडी है तो ऑफ कोर्स दैट वुड बी ऑफ ग्रेट
हाँ.
यूज टू देम। उनको कम टाइम लगेगा आपको ब्रेक चीजों को एक्सप्लेन करने में या ट्रेन करने में।
What I understood, he is not expecting me to tell exact things.
यस।
What he is expecting that whatever understanding I am having till now,
या।
can I use those resources and can I say something which is relevant to their work?
राइट,
That's what they are want
राइट,
from me. Maybe that's what I understood.
Yes,
But
yes. I
he
think
wants me that
basics, yeah.
whatever basic understanding I am having about communication, about signal processing,
Signal can.
just use it and make something out of it,
Right,
and just
right.
use it in that technology in where they are expecting me to work.
Yes, yes. Definitely, yeah, I think basics, fundamentals ये अगर clear हो तो उनको पता है कि like if the foundation is strong or good enough तो we can build on top of it. उस पे हम अपनी चीजों
हम्म,
को कर लेंगे मैनेज तो उनको वही कंसर्न रहा होगा कि एटलीस्ट योर बेसिक्स में कितना आप थॉरो हैं या
हम्म।
तो लाइक इसकी लाइक इन सब चीजों का ब्लूटूथ वगैरह के बारे में आपने कब लाइक इसकी तैयारी आपने कैसे किया लाइक हाउ डिड यू मैनेज दीज थिंग्स इनका
टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट, ऑडियो के बारे में मुझे उतना पता नहीं था, बट
ओके
ब्लूटूथ डिवाइस के बारे में भी मुझे उतना पता नहीं था, बिकॉज आई एम अ वेरी नॉन टेक्निकल पर्सन। मैं जब फोन भी खरीदती हूँ, मैं बस इतना देखता हूँ कि मेगापिक्सल सही है ना, फोटो अच्छा आएगा ना, दैट इज ओके। उसके अंदर क्या है, कितना रैम है, मतलब कितना साइज उसमें, मतलब
ओके
कैपेसिटी कितना
ओके
है,
यस
मैं देखता
यस
ही नहीं हूँ। तो आई एम काइंड ऑफ अ शॉक, बिकॉज मुझे उतना पता नहीं था डिवाइसेस के बारे में। लेकिन हाँ, वो एक दिन इंटरव्यू के जाने के पहले कि हाँ ब्लूटूथ का इंटरव्यू है, सो एटलीस्ट
पढ़ना
some
चाहिए हाँ
basics I need to go through. So, like from Google only, that what is
ओके
Bluetooth
ओके
devices, like that,
ओके
what is Bluetooth, करके थोड़ा सा सर्च किया था। So if
ओके
anyone is going there, I would suggest that don't go like me. Just try to at least from before one day also, because you are engineers, so you know how to study
यस
before one
यस
night. So
राइट
it's
राइट राइट
everyone's forte.
राइट
So I would
राइट
suggest that just go through audio or Bluetooth audio related things.
या
That will help. If you can tell them one or two terminologies, they will be maybe impressed that at least you are aware
यस
of the fact.
राइट
That's it. And try to connect your own knowledge to that part which they are expecting. Try to just map it.
यस
That is it.
या सो तो इस राउंड के बारे में क्या आपको कुछ इनपुट्स दिए गए थे कि इन दिस राउंड वी विल डिस्कस दीज थिंग्स और
No.
ओके 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 सो यू जस्ट लाइक आपने खुद एनालाइज किया कि इस राउंड में चूंकि ये प्रोफाइल इसके बारे में है तो मुझे पढ़ के जाना चाहिए ब्लूटूथ वगैरह के बारे में अच्छा तो किसी राउंड के बारे में आपके पास इनपुट्स नहीं थे कि लाइक क्या
No,
होने वाला है
I'm like मैंने पर्टिकुलरली यही थर्ड राउंड के लिए पढ़ा नहीं था, मैंने ओवरऑल इंटरव्यू के लिए थोड़ा सा ब्लूटूथ देख के गया
ओके
था।
ओके ओके ओके
So
ओके
I didn't know ki in which round I will be asked
ओह
these things.
राइट
And
राइट
even like I didn't expect at all that they will ask about Bluetooth or
ओके
anything.
ओके
That's why I
राइट
didn't prepare that much. I only
ओह
some basics like maybe 10% or 5%
ओके
I have covered.
ओके ओके उन्हें पता था कि आप फोन खरीदने के टाइम ध्यान नहीं देते दे वांट यू टू ध्यान देना कि आप ध्यान दो फोन खरीदने के टाइम पे सम मोर अटेंशन डोंट बिकॉज वी आर स्पेंडिंग सो मच मनी ऑन अ फोन नाउ सो वी शुड यू नो ऑब्जर्व द माइन्यूट डिटेल्स
Yeah, they
आई थिंक
even
नाउ
asked
यू विल
me even they asked me that directly asked me that when you are going to buy one phone or any headphone, what are the features you are looking for? And I just bluntly said that I will only the good camera is okay, and then they even laughed.
ओके सो इन 3 राउंड्स के बाद फिर आपको एचआर राउंड आपका हुआ राइट
हाँ, इन 3 राउंड्स के वो जो थर्ड राउंड था,
ओके
इन दैट राउंड ओनली they asked me like one or two HR related questions,
ओके
like
ओके
what are my hobbies, what I do in free time, like that. What is my point of view of life, kind of things, where I'm living, who are there in my family, this kind of thing. Few, like 2 or 3 questions which are considered as a HR kind of questions.
ओके
Those they asked me at the end of that
एंड
third
ऑफ
round.
राउंड या
And then they said that we will get back to you if we will think that we want to continue it. Then after I think 1 or 2 days, maybe, yeah, I think one day, after one day or 1 or 2 days, I got a call from one of the HR. He asked me that can we have a talk, and
ओके
some basic questions they asked me, not much like what was the experience in my previous company, what was it, how I'm working, and do you have any self expectations kind of things. Some basic HR related questions they asked me. Relocation related questions
Right.
also were there. Those are things. And then I got after I think few days I got the like official confirmations.
Okay. Yeah.
I think after 1 week, I
Oh,
guess.
yeah. So ये 3 rounds and one HR round, like ये पूरा उनका overall placement of course ये high level details है, but in each and every round वो बहुत सारी चीजों के बारे में उनसे like आपकी discussions हुए, बहुत सारी चीजों के बारे में बातचीत हुई. तो HR round आपने like it was half an hours or so, like very
HR
brief.
round was only 15 minutes. Nothing was
Oh,
there.
okay. Okay.
It was over the call only.
Oh, okay, 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 okay. उसमें उसके लिए कोई proper like online call like meetings वगैरह नहीं setup किया गया था, just phone पे ही.
Just for.
नहीं ठीक है तो लाइक या वी गॉट टू नो सो मच अबाउट द प्रोफाइल एंड लाइक इन सब चीजों के बारे में जा लाइक ऑफ कोर्स दीस थिंग्स विल हेल्प द अपकमिंग स्टूडेंट्स. और आपने रिसोर्सेज वगैरह के बारे में हमने बात की, आपने टिप्स वगैरह भी बताया, बट एनी लाइक एडवाइस व्हिच यू वुड लाइक टू ऑफर फॉर द स्टूडेंट्स लाइक क्वालकॉम. आई थिंक सब लोग जाना चाहते हैं कम्युनिकेशंस के फील्ड के, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स के फील्ड के, दे वांट टू गेट इनटू क्वालकॉम. I have like friends who aspire for Qualcomm and of some of them could make into Qualcomm also. तो आप कुछ advice offer करना चाहेंगे उन लोगों के लिए like those who want to apply for these roles or similar kind of roles?
So the suggestions नहीं बोलूंगी. What is my learning? I can share that.
Okay.
That is the most important thing. What I understood that every like it is okay that technical things you will grab from your notes, your seniors, your video recordings, whatever you are having resources. That is okay because these things all the candidates are preparing. You are
Yes.
doing nothing new.
Okay.
So everyone is strong in their technical fields. If you are applying for communications, then everyone is preparing for communication. If you are aspiring for hardware thing, then everyone is reading about digital electronics, Verilog, all those things. Those are normal thing. You know that you have to work on them. But the thing is, apart from your technical knowledge, the most important thing is any language. Be strong in that, any language, whether it's Python, it's C, doesn't matter. Just be strong in your problem solving ability, and your logic sense should be very sharp. That is
Right.
what even I need to work on more. So I'm suggesting this. And apart from this thing, what else I can say, that is your if you are a MTech graduate, then it's very important. People will just irritate you with questions from your MTech project. So you have to know in and out from that project. It won't
Definitely.
work that you have took anyone's help and just did that project. You don't know, you don't understand what is happening there, what codes you are using, what platform you are using, or exactly for what purpose you are doing. Like you are making one project, it should serve some purpose. So for
Yes.
what benefit it is making, what improvement it is making. So you have to know all those questions. Like you have to practice yourself to answer each and every question you are also having in your mind while
Right.
doing that project. Just
Yes.
ask yourself, do I know this thing? Okay, I don't know this. Okay, then I need to know this. Like that, you have to question yourself that what are the areas you don't know, you are not comfortable in your project. You have to be confident on those projects because I know the projects are a mixed product with your guide, with your PhD senior, everyone is involved in your project. Even sometimes in some colleges, you are having project partners as well.
Yeah.
Two friends are making one project. Maybe there are some college rules, but you have to represent there as if you have done everything yourself.
On your own.
The
Yeah.
coding part you have done. If you have paper, then you have to know latex very well. You have to
Yeah.
know how to write a research paper like that. It's not like you have to do this same thing in your company, no, but they wants to know your dedication, that in college only project thing is your own own
Yes.
product, you can say.
Right.
So
Right.
they just want to know how much you are involved to make that product in your college days. So they will keep on asking many questions in your project. It doesn't matter that in which domain you have done your project. It may happen that you are applying for a different profile and you have done your project in a completely different profile, but
Yes.
they wants to know that your dedication, how much you are involved in that project.
Right.
So that is one point. And apart point is that I learned from many interviews, that be calm. Sometimes we are completely become blank in front of interviewers just because we are so panicked, or we are so
Right.
desperate to get that job. So we become completely blank. The common sense won't work that time.
Right.
So that is very essential, because sometimes they will ask some very silly question just to check our common sense, whether we can able to map that into that
Right.
particular direction. So you has to be very calm and composed so that you can think, because
Right.
everything you can't prepare and sit there. Everything you can't
Right.
grab
Yes.
and
Yes.
carry it within yourself into that interview. You can't. Is it a
Yes.
online interview or is it a offline? That
Right.
doesn't matter, but you can't carry everything with you. You have to create something during that time. Dynamically you have to think,
Yes.
dynamically you have to create inside your mind.
Right.
So for that reason you have to be sensible during that interview, very calm and composed. And one thing also, some people think that I have only 1 month of experience in that particular job. I have done only 30 days of training in particular thing. I shouldn't mention that in my resume, or I shouldn't mention that in my job interview. But from my experience, I'm not someone to declare that. But what I can
Yes.
say from my experience, those small training, those small work experiences created impact while giving one interview. It helped
Okay.
me when I gave interview for my MTech college also.
Okay.
So those small experiences, whatever you have having, some small workshop you have done,
Right.
some small trainings you have done, you are thinking that is too small to mention in front of a big company or a big
Right.
college, but trust me, they are not small. Each and
Right.
everything you have done in your life academically, those will create some impact. So mention that. If you
Yes.
forget about them, if you have forgot about them, try to read those documents. Some reports you will have right after the
Right.
your
Right.
training or workshop. Just go through that, Google that, and try to understand and try to recall what you have learned there, and try to
Right.
be ready. If you are mentioning that, then you have to at least answer at least 50% of what you have learned
Right.
there.
Right.
So
Right.
mention that, just don't ignore something that it's only 1 month of experience. What will I do by mentioning it? But it will create an impact.
Yes. Yes.
That is my experience. I'm
Right.
not someone to declare that, but
Yeah.
just
No, no, I can understand. I got it. And especially when you are a fresher. So
yeah,
like
that
all
time,
the
that
right, all these things,
yeah,
like when you have gained experience of let's say 5, 6 years, 7 years, then discussions happen at a different level. You
different
discuss
level.
different
That's
things
what
in the
I'm saying.
interview. Right. But
Mm.
but for freshers, all the even we find it insignificant, but no, this is significant. You should
This is
mention it.
significant.
And like you mentioned that read the report or like find the information and mention it. That will help you in some or the other way. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you have any gaps in between your academic year,
Yeah.
for various reasons, you are preparing or any kind of
Right.
thing,
Right.
try to be prepare with a solid reason behind it. You
Yeah.
shouldn't fumble in front of the interview,
Right. Right.
because those are the areas they will look very carefully.
Yes.
If
Yes.
you are able to defend, not defend, you
Yeah.
can justify your gap or
Justify.
not.
Right. Right.
And try to be honest also. Just don't fake completely.
Right. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Because they are experienced. They are way more experienced than us. They
Yeah.
can they can find it out when we are faking or
Uh,
when we are trying to bluff.
yeah.
So yeah, it's better. It's good on in fact to be honest and like yeah, be candid in our communication. Like we should be open. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Your experience will help a lot of students. In fact, it was very nice talking to you and knowing so many things and about the placement process and the things which we should be careful of while applying for the various jobs. So yeah, a lot of students will get inspired and they will get an insight of the recruitment process. It will help them a lot. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for sparing your time on a weekend, especially. So yeah, thank you so much. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Yeah.